we're going to start in a very familiar place for my guy over here. Pittsburgh got a steal when they got George Pickens a couple years ago. He has balled out. His talent is unquestioned, but he has also had some issues not necessarily off the field, but in the game. Altercations, getting physical with some players and things of that nature. He seems hot-tempered at certain times. This week, he was out because of a minor hamstring issue, but was it something more? Anthony, I'm going to come to you first. You are very familiar with George Pickens, with his injury issues that he had when he was at Georgia, but also he's a feisty, fiery player, and this is great when he's on your team, but also can be a detriment. What do you know, man?
I absolutely love your diplomacy and tact, sir. Um, I won't say what I want to say. We will leave that to my esteemed co-host down there. And it's going to happen somewhere between the 38-minute mark and the 47-minute mark. So
Right.
just, mark your
You
calendars.
mean he's a brawling idiot?
I was going to say he's a crazy sob. I don't want to use that term lightly because we do take mental health very seriously. But George Pickens will start a fight in an empty room, sitting in there by himself.
With
He
a
will start a
wall.
fight for no reason.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, I don't like the way that chair was looking at me, yo. I'm saying, you the ops now. Skirt,
Right.
ski yee. I don't know what is got. I don't know what's up with George. He likes to fight. He should have been a boxer. Seriously. He used to fight a lot. The Georgia Tech game. You and I talked about this, Sean. I think you sat in for Colin on our UGA show. George Pickens made a contested catch in the end zone, got the touchdown. All he had to do was turn around and hand the ball to the referee. Instead, he grabs the Georgia Tech defender and has got him like choked out up against the double-handed choke out up against the wall in the end zone. That's just what he does, but his talent is undeniable. This is the same guy that sat out an entire year, doesn't show up until I think the SEC championships or the national championship, and makes a ridiculous laid out all the way catch that almost turns into a double tuck landing. It was insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think our guy is suffering from a case of Cypress Hill. Those of you that are music fans know exactly what I'm saying. And
Insane in the membrane.
insane in the brain.
Brain.
Pick it, pack it, make a peeler. I'ma start a fight with somebody, not a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Hey,
I'm going in. I hate the Miami Hurricanes because a brother like me is going insane. I don't know. Anyway, hashtag Mr. Fingers Freestyles. Yeah, available on everywhere that your podcasts are available. Pickens is a Pickens. I don't know what's going on with Pickens. He just got this. He's got this perpetual chip. You know who he reminds me of? You remember young Isaiah Thomas in the NBA?
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Always fighting with somebody.
Chip on his shoulder.
I think I think a look into his background growing up might be warranted because Isaiah Thomas is very open about the fact that he didn't grow up in the best of environments. He had a rough upbringing. He was always a small guy, so he always had to fight his way out of things. So there may be that, but I'm just saying, yeah. So my man stays hurt and he stays ready. He stayed ready to get ready. He said, "Look, don't be at the stadium and they play Nuck If You Buck during the commercial break. He might be in the stands fighting somebody."
Right. Look, and even on plays where things aren't even around him. I know in the game where they played Washington, they threw it to him. He was double covered. We intercepted it, and there was a guy that was running up with the ball. He didn't chase that guy. He went for the other guy that was behind him, gave him a chokehold, took him down. It was going after him. I'm like, for what? That he has nothing to do with the play. What are we talking about? So Tina, I'm going to come to you. Look, at the end of the day, he's a great player. There's no doubt about that. And yes, this might be an injury issue. Maybe Tomlin's saying, I want to hold you for the long term, for the playoffs, because we're to go. Could this rear its ugly head later in the year? I mean, is this an Antonio Brown, Chase Claypool, Juju Smith-Schuster? I mean, typical Steelers wide receiver issue?
15 yard personal foul. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
cost a game. Yeah, it definitely can. They're trying to get a 4th and 1, and he creates the penalty, and now they're 20 yards back. So, I mean, but you know what? It's the same with T.O. It's the same with all of the wide receivers. We like a little crazy in our wide receivers because that's what makes them so good. That's what makes them the athletes they are. That's what makes them the egos and the prima donna-ness and all of that. I want the ball. I want the ball. I'm the best. I'm the best. It creates good wide receivers. So you take one, you get the other. They're just usually not so much more in this hand. It's you want it like a 75-25, like he can control it a little bit. I don't know. So, yeah. I mean, it's a detriment. And as long as his numbers are better than his right hook.
Yeah, well, right. And look, it's not like it's not just the Steelers that this is happening to. This happens everywhere. I mean,
Talib.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I often tell the cautionary tale of Lawrence Phillips and how many passes he was given, and unfortunately, he wasn't not able to stay out of trouble. Look, we know if a guy has superior talent, they will continue to look the other way or continue to try to help him out, and that's why I wonder if Tomlin just said, "Take a game, cool off, relax." Because we potentially can be making a run at not only the playoffs, but I mean, they have a defense, and with Russell Wilson and how that offense is going, who knows? They could make a run for the championship to get to the Super Bowl. We don't know, but you're like you said, Tina, penalty like that late in the game where you have an opportunity to get it, and all of a sudden now you're out of field goal range because of some crap like that or something that happens that he's done. That you don't need that. You do not need that. So